The comedy show adventure in a cheerful town called Laughville, there lived a boy named Max. Max loved to laugh and make others laugh too. He was known as the funniest kid in school. His dream was to become a comedian one day and make everyone smile with his jokes and funny stories. One day, Max heard exciting news. The famous comedy duo, Lenny and Benny, were coming to Laughville to perform a special comedy show. Lenny and Benny were Max's favorite comedians. He had watched all their shows on TV and knew all their jokes by heart. Max rushed home to tell his parents. "Mom, Dad, Lenny and Benny are coming to town. Can we go see their show?" he asked eagerly. His parents smiled. "Of course, Max. Let's get tickets and make it a fun family night out," his dad said. On the night of the show, Max and his parents arrived at the Laughville Theater. The place was packed with people excited to see the famous comedians. Max could hardly contain his excitement. He couldn't believe he was about to see Lenny and Benny perform live. The lights dimmed, and the curtains opened. Lenny and Benny walked onto the stage, and the audience erupted in applause. The show began, and the theater was filled with laughter. Lenny and Benny's jokes were hilarious, and their funny skits had everyone in stitches. Halfway through the show, Lenny and Benny asked for a volunteer from the audience to join them on stage for a special act. Max's hand shot up immediately. "Pick me! Pick me!" he shouted. Lenny pointed at Max. "You, young man. Come on up here." Max's heart raced as he walked onto the stage. Lenny and Benny welcomed him warmly. "What's your name, kid?" Benny asked. "I'm Max," he replied, grinning from ear to ear. "Well, Max, are you ready to help us with a funny skit?" Lenny asked. Max nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, I'm ready." Lenny and Benny explained the skit. Max would pretend to be a customer at a funny restaurant where nothing went right. Lenny would be the clumsy waiter, and Benny would be the chef with silly cooking tricks. The skit began, and Max played his part perfectly. He pretended to order a meal, and Lenny, the clumsy waiter, kept dropping things and getting the order wrong. Benny, the chef, made funny faces and did silly tricks with the food. The audience roared with laughter at their antics. Max felt like he was on top of the world. He loved making people laugh and being part of the show. Lenny and Benny were impressed by Max's natural talent for comedy. When the skit ended, they gave him a big round of applause. "Great job, Max. You were fantastic," Lenny said. "Yeah, you've got real talent, kid," Benny added. "Have you ever thought about becoming a comedian?" Max beamed with pride. "Yes, it's my dream to be a comedian one day." Lenny and Benny exchanged smiles. "Well, Max, keep working on your jokes and practicing. Maybe one day, you'll be up here with us as a famous comedian," Lenny said. Max felt inspired and motivated. "Thank you, Lenny and Benny. This has been the best night of my life." After the show, Max and his parents went backstage to meet Lenny and Benny. They took pictures together, and Lenny and Benny gave Max some tips on how to improve his comedy skills. "Remember, Max, the key to being a great comedian is to always find humor in everyday life and to make people smile," Benny said. "And never give up on your dream," Lenny added. "Keep practicing, and one day, you'll be a star." Max thanked them again and promised to work hard on his comedy. When he got home, he couldn't wait to start writing new jokes and funny stories. Over the next few weeks, Max practiced his comedy routines. He performed for his family, friends, and even at school talent shows. Each time, he got better and more confident. He learned to observe the funny things in everyday life and turn them into jokes that made people laugh. One day, the principal announced that the school was hosting a talent show, and the winner would get a chance to perform at the Laughville Theater. Max knew this was his chance. He signed up for the talent show and worked hard on his routine. On the night of the talent show, Max felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. As he began his routine, the audience started to laugh. Max's jokes were a hit, and his funny stories had everyone in stitches. When he finished, The audience gave him a standing ovation. Max felt a surge of happiness and pride. He had done it. He had made people laugh and enjoyed every moment of it. The principal announced the winner of the talent show. And the winner is Max. Max couldn't believe it. He ran to the stage to accept his trophy and a certificate for a performance at the Laughville Theater. His parents and friends cheered loudly. A few weeks later, Max performed at the Laughville Theater. The audience loved his routine, and he received many compliments. Lenny and Benny, who were in the audience, gave him a thumbs up and a big smile. From that day on, Max continued to pursue his dream of becoming a comedian. He performed at local events, wrote new jokes, and even started a comedy club at school. His passion for making people laugh grew stronger, and he knew that with hard work and dedication, he could achieve his dream. Max's story became an inspiration in Laughville. It showed that with a big dream, a lot of practice, and a little bit of courage, anything is possible. Max's journey to becoming a comedian was just beginning, and he was excited to see where his laughter-filled adventure would take him next.